Hey everyone. I just finished the interview that I'm going to post right now, just a few minutes ago. And man, was it so much more than I ever dreamed it would be. I just didn't want to come home, and so I stopped by the softball fields. I saw a bunch of people playing softball, and I hung out for about 30 or 45 minutes before I really decided who I wanted to talk to. And there was an older native guy, and there was a cowboy guy, and all different characters. And about in the 30th minute, this kid rolls up, and he's covered in grease and with what appeared to be his work shirt, and he was there to support his girlfriend, who was playing softball. And I could just tell he had just come from a hard day's work, a harder day's work than I know I've ever done in my life, and he was still there to support her. And man, he is the definition of why you don't judge a book by its cover. And I think based off of or coming from the two interviews I've done with a successful artist and a pastor, I think this kid's life will resonate with a wider audience because he's so relatable in so many different ways. So, without further ado, I present to you Austin. What's up, brother?
How's it going?
Good. For everybody watching, I want you to tell them your name and where you're from.
My name's Austin Tweet. I'm from Bayfield, Colorado.
Have you always lived here your whole life?
I have lived here my entire life.
And so tell me about that. Like when you're born here and you work here, is there any sort of like talk when you're like, getting into high school about you want to get out of here? Is that a goal to get out of here, or is it pretty all right to like want to stay here?
That's never been my goal's. Never been to get out of here. I honestly really like where I live.
Yeah.
It provides everything that I want in life.
And so, is this your work shirt? Is this what you do?
This is my work shirt. I'm a diesel mechanic at Windsor Diesel.
And across the board for living here and being in your age, is that a good job for you?
Yes, it is a very great job for me.
So what does your day entail? Like, you wake up and what do you do at work?
I wake up, I get up about 5:30, get to work at 6, and do anything related to diesels.
What does that mean? Like you're working on big engines?
Big engines, semi trucks, we try to stay away from, but 1-ton diesel pickups and anything with a diesel motor in it we'll work on.
And so is that something you have to go to school to learn to do, or is that something you can learn from dad?
No, I did not go to school to do that. I actually found myself an opportunity with a friend, got in.
Learned on the job.
And learning on the job, yeah.
And compared to your friends who are your age, are you making pretty good money compared to them?
Yeah, I'm above average for my age group.
And so with that money, long-term, short-term, let's talk about you personally. What do you want to save your money and buy a house? Is that the goal?
I'm actually under contract right now in a house.
Really? How old are you again?
I am 21.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so your girlfriend's playing this game right here. How long have you guys been together?
We've just hit a year actually.
And so I'm from Southern California.
Yeah.
And a year in Southern California means that you barely even found out where this girl lives sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Like that,
Oh, yeah.
And so here, does that mean like you hit the year mark and you're starting to think about marriage?
Yeah, I mean that's always a thought when I go into dating a girl. We are definitely.
You're pretty serious.
Yeah, we're definitely in a serious relationship for sure.
And so on average, for being from Bayfield, is 21 a reasonable age to announce to your parents you want to get married? Or is that a bit early?
I don't want to get married at quite a young age. I want to be sure.
Yeah.
I've just been around so much divorce that.
Sure, you want to be careful.
Yeah, I want to be careful. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So in a town, so what is the population here? 5,000, 7,000?
It's something small. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure anymore.
And so, are there like classes in Bayfield? Like, is there like a upper crust part of Bayfield and there's like a lower crust part of Bayfield? Or is it all sort of mixed?
It's all kind of mixed as far as schooling or as far as income.
As far as income, is there like a rich part of town?
Everything's kind of mixed in. There's definitely spots with higher income in it, but.
And so you said you've seen a lot of divorce. So most of your friends, their parents are divorced, you think?
Yeah, most of the classmates I went to school with have divorced parents and stuff.
And has anybody ever talked about, is there a common denominator why people are getting divorced around here?
No, honestly, there's not really. It's just a lot of divorce I've been around.
But you don't want to be a part of that club.
Yeah, exactly. So
So are your parents together?
My parents are together. Yeah.
Okay, so there you
Yeah.
go. All right,
Yeah.
so right, so I remember when I was in like fourth grade. So my parents were together for their whole life.
Yeah.
I remember in fourth grade, I heard my friend tell us my mom's boyfriend's coming over. And I thought, what the hell? That is the weirdest sentence. Because the idea of my mom having a boyfriend was so fucking weird to me.
Yeah.
And same thing. So, and then I ended up getting divorced, and I felt like such a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Because I lost like 5-6 years, and it was so foreign to me, the idea of not being married forever. No matter what else I did in my life, I felt like I'd failed pretty massively. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You want to. And the thing is, what's tough is like there are no guarantees. No matter
Right.
what you do, life throws fucking curveballs at you.
Yeah.
And you got, I think that's one thing thinking about like, I don't know if you know about the policies like in the 20s and 30s, but people just didn't get divorced. They'd be with somebody who they hated for 40 years because you just didn't get divorced. And through the modern lens, that can seem kind of messed up because people get divorced like that now. But there is something I think kind of brilliant about it where if you figure you're not going to get divorced and you don't want to hate this person forever, you get over your problems, right?
Yep.
You
Yeah,
work,
for
you
sure.
work through it, right?
Yep. Yep, for sure.
Okay, so it sounds like you plan all together. Like you got a really good job, you found a good chick.
Yep.
You're in contract to have a house. What is 5-10 years down the road? What is winning to you?
Honestly, just finding happiness with the right person. I'm not too big into money's happiness, but I do believe that you do need some money to be successful around here.
Do you have it's sort of ingrained in you that the man is the provider? Is that like a traditional relationship in your mind?
I've always felt like I have to provide, but I also like splitting and equal quantity.
Does she have a decent job?
She actually goes to school at the fort right now, so.
And what does she want to do professionally?
She wants to get into dental stuff and do root canals.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So she's a blood and guts girl. So
Uh,
if you're throwing up, she doesn't run away.
Nope. No, she does not.
That's a good woman.
Yep.
So let me ask you this. I've run into a lot of people. So my mom was raised in Ignacio,
Okay.
in like the 40s and 50s. And so I've been coming here my whole life. And one thing I noticed about here versus where I'm from is that people don't really think about what's it like in other parts of the world. Like, do you have any curiosity to travel different places in the world?
I've traveled a decent amount, and honestly, I always hit that week mark,
And you're over it.
I'm ready to be back here.
So where have you been?
I've been Florida many times, California. We had family in California. I've been to Texas.
But not
I've
out
been
of the
to
country.
I've been to Mexico,
Uh-huh.
and I've been to Canada as well.
What was in Canada? What was going on there?
I just always wanted to go there. My
Really?
parents just said, let's go to Canada.
Do you
so-
drive or fly?
We flew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what about places like Italy or Peru or places like that? Is there any curiosity in your mind about places like that, or that doesn't have any interest to you?
Honestly, I've always wanted to go, but it's not been anything that has been on the top of my bucket list by any means.
Do you have like a special savings or something put aside for things like that?
Yes, I do. I try to keep a savings for things like that, or just things that come up in life.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
emergencies or
Yeah.
whatever. What about stuff like cars? Like, okay, so let me ask you this. So describe to me, not somebody specific, but what does success look like in Bayfield? Where do they live? What do they drive? What do they dress like?
It's pretty split. I mean, Bayfield's a pretty small farm town, I would say.
Yeah.
So I would say more so success. You're seeing boats, you're seeing jet skis, you're seeing anything to have fun on the weekend.
So if somebody's making extra money, that's what they do with their money.
Yeah.
And so is there a flex with that, or is that just kind of a given that's what you're going to do?
I mean, everyone has their own thing, obviously, but I feel like that's kind of, if you have extra money, I feel like it's pretty much a standard around here that you're going to have extra toys and stuff like that.
Sure. What about like houses? Like, do people? Would it make sense for somebody like build a giant like mini mansion type thing, or would that be kind of silly?
Honestly, house markets all over. Up over in Durango, especially, up in the golf course ranges.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
You start seeing really big houses, a lot of money up in there.
But that's what's so interesting though is like that's only what 15 miles away,
Yeah,
20 miles
yeah.
away, and societally, things shift really quick, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost like that everywhere. Like if you like go to LA, 2 miles in any direction, you go from like mega mansions and celebrities to Skid Row.
Yep.
You know, so I don't think that's far too different, no matter where you are.
Yeah, I feel like there's ranges everywhere you live.
So how about have you always lived on the same street?
No, I've moved around. I've always lived in Bayfield.
Uh-huh.
I was born at the hospital in Durango, but I lived in Ignacio for the first 2 years of
But
my life.
your family moved within Bayfield a bunch of
Yeah.
times?
No, my family themselves, we have always lived up in the Forest Lakes area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as a family, and then since then I've moved out. I moved out when I was 19,
Uh-huh.
and I've moved 4 times since then. So I mean, I've tried a few areas, so I kind of have an idea of where I want to
So
be.
let's talk about that. When you first moved out at 19 years old, was it with roommates?
Yes.
So one thing I was trying to tell my son, because he was a little bit pissed, because I had just sold my house and everything in it 3 weeks ago.
Really?
And my son is 19, and he's a professional athlete. And I told him, listen, before you get a big payday, I want you to live on your own and understand that toilet paper, the good stuff, costs a certain amount, and sometimes it's not in the budget. And so, you know, that with me providing everything for you, you don't understand that fully.
Yeah.
And so there is something that I think my age of parents is forgetting, that they just want to take care of their kids forever. That there is something about living with people who steal your food from the refrigerator or leave a mess that inspires you to make more money and
Yep.
go get a place of your own, right?
Yep.
So let's talk about the arc. You moved out with what, friends?
Yep, I had a couple buddies I moved out with, and
And did they suck to live with?
no, honestly, we all got along pretty well, and it just came time that we had a 6-month lease, and
Uh,
we weren't getting along with our landlord, so we all decided to move, and 2 of us went one direction, the other one went the other direction.
and so did you go from like 3 people living in the same house, so just you two?
Yep, and then just
Right.
down to 2 of us.
Right.
And we've moved, just the 2 of us, we moved 3 times together.
So you stuck with that dude and just kind of moved place to place?
Yep, and I actually work full time with him as well.
Oh, wow.
So we're together a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so where is he at? So what was the decision for you to get a house? You just finally hit that number in your bank account?
To buy a house,
Yeah.
I just see where my money goes. I'll never get back rent money.
Right.
Whereas at least I build equity with a house.
Sure.
Even if I decide to have roommates in the house, and I'm still building that equity, and that money's going towards me.
Okay, so right. So that's the plan, is like you can still have roommates and they're going to pay towards you, and maybe they save a little bit of money and it
Right,
takes off
and I
your
mean,
mortgage.
I haven't really decided yet if I want to have roommates or not in this place, because it is mine.
Yeah,
I want to
sure.
keep it the way I want it. But it's so expensive to buy around here that everything's just ridiculous.
So let's talk about that. Like, so how many houses did you try to buy before you were able to get one?
This is the first one I've been serious with. But I've looked at a few more, but really just.
But there wasn't any kind of bidding war. Once you put an
No.
offer in, it was accepted.
I put an offer in, and we went back and forth, and then we went under contract, and right after that they had a few offers put in above asking price. So it's just really about jumping on places around here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So do you notice that people are starting to come here from other places? Is this some place that people are coming?
Oh yeah, we have definitely. I mean, even since I've been here, my whole life, I've seen the population at least double.
Well, yeah, I was thinking, because I went to the parade, and the last time I went to the parade, I think it was like 10 or 15 years ago, and there was like 10 trucks.
Yeah.
You know, and like there's a couple of tractors. It was pretty huge this year.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty surprised that it's actually pretty substantial what's going on here now.
Well, I mean, we'll get people from all over the place for our 4th of July parade too. Everyone seems to like our parade more than others.
Well, I mean, they didn't do fireworks in Durango this year, so I think you got a lot of Durangans coming
Yep.
here, right?
Yep.
Right. So, in your mind, obviously you're doing really well now. Like, you've got a good job, you got getting a house, you're in a relationship. Is there anything that you want that you don't have right now?
I mean, there's always the newest and best thing out there.
Do you have that in your DNA, where you kind of want to get the new shiny thing?
I always want to be maybe just a year or 2 old. I don't like buying brand new. I don't like taking that initial hit.
Yeah, sure. Are we talking about like phones and computers and stuff like that?
I've always found it to be better to buy a brand new phone, and I've always believed that you do payments on phones, because as soon as they're paid off,
They stop working.
they stop working.
They hit that kill switch.
Yep, and I've bought them outright, and I've done payments, and they've always had better luck with payments.
Sure. So what is your weakness? What's like the one thing that you spend too much money on or you think about too much?
I'm a big wintertime guy. So in the wintertime, I buy anything and everything snowmobile related. And I'm big into snowmobiles. I don't know why I always have to have two, but I've always had two snowmobiles and I've always wanted to.
Well, it's for a buddy to go out with. You don't want to go out there alone. And get
Yeah,
stranded,
and
right?
the girlfriend likes to come out now, so that's cool.
Doesn't that thing burn your ass off though? I've heard horror stories about snowmobiles.
Yeah, so learning it's probably the most frustrating thing I've ever learned how to do. You're digging all day long.
Yeah, sure.
But it's my favorite thing to do, so I always found happiness in it, and now I have a girlfriend that likes to do it as well.
So how old were you when you were able to buy your first snowmobile?
I bought my first snowmobile, I was 13, 12 or 13.
What, you were the paper route kid, or how did you make money back then?
Back then, I would do anything to make money. As far as in the summer, on my summer breaks, I would mow lawns.
Did that come from your parents or from you?
The money or
No, the desire to work or the requirement to work.
I've grown up in a hardworking family, so
You've seen it.
I've been around it my whole life, and with my dad, I've gone to work with my dad ever since I was able to walk. So I've been around it.
And what did he do?
He does floors. He owns his flooring company.
So he's a handy guy.
Yeah.
And so you were around it all the time. So by osmosis, you sort of became handy too.
Yeah, and actually I did remodels for a couple of years after high school as well, before I decided to go into being a mechanic.
Huh. And what did your dad think about that choice? Did he kind of want you to go into the same, like follow his footsteps, or?
I mean, my parents always knew that college wasn't in my future, so they kind of figured I was gonna be somewhere along that line.
Did they go to college, your parents?
My dad actually went to culinary school, and
really?
actually decided he doesn't like that. Every day of his life cooking for other people.
So he did that for a while?
He did. He worked at quite a few fancy restaurants in Durango. He worked at the Palace when it was around. He was the head chef there.
Wow. I mean, he was over. I was a chef for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and he can't do the heat, and he doesn't.
It's brutal.
Yeah, and he's like, you're working all the
Yeah,
time.
the pace.
Yeah.
That's true. And so how long did you do that for before you said no thanks?
I don't remember exactly how long he did it, but
Is when you were little?
yeah, it was when I was little. And I mean, for a while there, when he was first starting to get into doing floors, he would actually work a part-time job at night as a cook still.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about like breakfast, lunch, and dinner in your house, like during the week or on the weekend. Is Dad cooking dinner? Or is Mom cooking dinner?
Dad's always cooked dinner around my house.
And you sit at the dinner table together?
No, we'd sit at the couch.
But together, like you'd make dinner and you were supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything of a requirement or anything, but we would usually sit down in the living room, watch TV together.
But your dad made the meals.
Yeah.
You have siblings?
Yeah, I have a younger brother and a younger sister.
And what does their arc look like? Where do they seem like they're going in life?
My brother's kind of following a little bit my footsteps. He's in the construction industry. He's going to be 20 in August, so he's 2 years younger than me. But my sister, she's still only 11, so she's still is. But even then, she's found that she wants money, so she's started doing a little bit of mowing and stuff on the weekends.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what does she want to do with her money, as far as you've seen?
She wants to save up and buy her first car on her own because she doesn't like the first car that me and my brother drove.
So she saw the junkers that you got and said, no thanks, I'm going to make...
Yeah, and I mean, it's always been the ongoing joke. We've always had a Honda Pilot for the first car. And so...
And she's like, so is she a little bit of a fashionista? Like she wants like a more stylish car? That's...
I think she wants a more stylish car, something newer. She just doesn't want something that me and him both had, I guess.
Gotcha.
She wants to be different.
That's so interesting. So let me ask you this. Is how we live in Southern California or even like New York on your radar? Do you hear stories about what life is like where I'm from? Like LA, Orange County, places like that?
My mom's family was from California.
What part?
And they were from Redlands.
Okay.
Yeah. And they've actually all recently moved to Texas. They followed one family out there, and they all moved.
Yeah.
So I mean, I haven't heard too many since then, but I've always heard stories of just don't come here.
So, what's the kookiest rumor or lifestyle thing you've heard about Californians?
Um, I don't honestly know.
But you just know it's stay away.
Yeah, they're always like we want out of here now. It's like okay.
Was that more like a government thing
I
or
have
a tax thing or just people are too kooky?
I have no idea. I think they just saw the change in environment since they first lived there, and they all just wanted to change, I guess.
Well, so there's this trend, especially so I live where a lot of TV shows are about, like Laguna Beach is right next door to where I live. You know, the OC, that's where I live. You know, those TV shows is about where I live. And there's this trend, so I'm 51, and there's this trend with people my age and just slightly older where they just want their kids to stay at home until they're like 27. And they live in these $2 million houses, and this kid has no work experience, no idea of what money is worth,
Yep.
and they get put out in the world at 27 and they're completely clueless.
Yep, and that drives me nuts.
Well, what's so crazy though is that you have all these people who have obviously the brains to earn a lot of money, but then they rob that same instinct up from their children, and it baffles me, you know. And so it's so interesting that your little sister is already at 11 thinking about, I want to buy a car, and she's willing to mow lawns to do it too,
Yep.
which is amazing to me. And so, you know, I'm traveling the world having conversations like this, and it's fascinating to me that, you know, there is no shame in your mind or anybody else's mind about staying in a small town, right? It's like failed somehow.
Yep, I can't do big cities or anything like that. I've always had the small town in me, so.
Right. So what is the, if you do get the itch to like get out of here, you're going to someplace like Florida. You want to stay in the United States, but you know, some places tropical or something like that. That's the idea, or mountains or what?
I always have to have mountains. I don't know, that might change when I get older with age, but for now I always have to have mountains.
So what was in Florida? Why'd you end up going to Florida?
Just Orlando Studios, Disney World, stuff like that. Yeah.
So you went that way rather than Disneyland on the West Coast.
And we would go to Disneyland. My mom's mom worked for Disney for quite a few years, so
you've
get
been to my
family
hometown.
passes. Yeah.
So did you explore around Orange County, or you just go to Disneyland when you were there?
I mean, we would mostly just go to Disneyland, and we'd do a few other things like shows and stuff there, but we'd just hang out and vacation. And it'd be usually about a week long. And after that week was over, I was like, yeah,
you're ready to come home.
It's time to go home.
And so I had this thing, so I would come here. This was my vacation because we would have a 300-acre ranch in Ignacio, or Arbolese. And same thing, I would come home, and it seems like the streets were so wide and everything was so clean, and that's what felt comforting to me. Like here, I love it here, but something about the pace of life just drove me nuts. So it was almost the opposite for you. Things are too nuts there, and you want to come back to the quiet.
Yeah. It's too much for me. I like the quiet. I like to be alone. I have my friend group, and that's about all I need around here. Yep, and we all hang out on the weekends.
So what do you guys do? Like, what do you guys do when you get together?
A lot of stuff. Like we'll go. Like last weekend, we went and shot prairie dogs because we all just got bored. And
it's my son's favorite thing in the
we
world.
We go shoot prairie dogs.
So that you say, hey, let's get together and go sniper some prairie dogs.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean we can have a plan made in one text.
Is it competitive amongst you guys? Or is it just fun? Is it just fun?
It's just fun. I mean, sometimes we'll compare numbers, but for the most part, I mean, we're just there to have fun.
So do you guys know somebody who has a property that they're happy to have you come and do it?
Yeah. So we're surrounded. I'm surrounded with friends and family a little bit that has property. So something like that isn't hard for me to go do.
Do the girls come along for that?
Yes, they do.
Really?
Yes.
And they blast away too?
Yep. And
damn.
Most of the girls, they like hunting as well. I mean, we're all hunters.
So do you go out during hunting season and go for deer and stuff like that?
Yeah, we go for deer and elk mostly, but.
And when did you first learn how to clean an animal and strip an animal like that?
My dad, I don't even think I was 10, I think I was 9 when my dad would bring me out for just pack outs. Be after school usually. And he'd kind of show me the way a little bit around an animal.
So let's talk about your little brother. Is he totally on board with that? Nobody has strayed away from this where they said, I don't want this? Or do you know anybody like amongst your friend groups that they just want to get out of here? Not so much.
Not so much out of here anymore. Everyone that I grew up with in high school was like, they're all pushing to get out of here. And the more and more that they got out of here, more and more of them are coming back.
Yeah, right. It's not the grass wasn't greener.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
exactly. They
Right.
thought they'd find something better, and then they just come back.
Huh. And you never had it in you for even just like a year or 3 months to like go find, you always felt like this is like the right place to be.
Yep, yep, exactly. I mean, this has everything I want. It's got the mountains, it's got little town, everything that I need.
That's amazing, brother. One thing that is kind of interesting to me about being like around so much affluence and stuff and houses and cars and things like that is that in recent years I've realized that people really aren't so happy, you know, and there's this certain, it's almost like this thing where if I just get a bigger house, I'll be happy, and then they get there and it doesn't make them happy, but they don't quite make a correction. Would you say that you and your friend group are they're good? Or does anybody have a longing for, or is there something that feels like anybody's lacking?
No, I mean, we all have our own things that we all lack in a little bit, but for the most
In
part,
general, nobody's bummed out.
no, no. We're all pretty happy with what we got going on. And I mean, we have a friend group. We all have pretty similar hobbies, so all of us have, I mean, slightly different things. I mean, there's only 2 of us that like dirt biking and snowmobiling, but it's not for everyone.
But in general, nobody's kind of like feeling like they're a loser or anything like that. There's no feeling of like they're a failure of anything.
No, I mean, honestly, we're all doing, I would say all of us are above average for our friend group.
That's amazing, brother.
So we all have different things we like to do, and we're all doing different things. So
That's incredible. I'm stoked for you because
Yeah,
I'm kind of on that same path where, you know, I have been raising my kid for the last 20 years, and so I kind of put everything else to the side. I mean, I do creative things, but I'm not really happy. And it's interesting because a lot of people know me as the happy guy, but there's surface happy and then there's fulfilled.
Right.
And I guess I'm just not fulfilled.
Right.
You know, but then again, I want to do bigger things.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I'm raising the bar high, and that's, you know, I don't know what the right move is to do. Is like to keep shooting for the thing, or to maybe lower the bar a little bit and find that sweet spot where I'm just cool with just whatever I've got, you know. So
Right.
I'm stoked to hear that you and your friends have that. That's an amazing thing to hear and kind of inspiring to me.
Yeah, and I mean, we've always helped each other. We've always lifted each other up. I mean, my roommate, the one I'm still with, he's actually the reason that our kind of little group moved out. Was his parents were getting in a pretty ugly divorce, and he was only 17. He still had a whole other year of high school.
Is drugs and alcohol much of an issue around here?
I would say there's a lot of drinking, but I mean,
Not to the point where it's a problem.
no. I mean, there's obviously groups out here that big into drugs and stuff, but for the most part, we're fairly well around here.
Well, I mean, having something to do is sort of the antidote for drugs, right? If
Yeah.
you're bored and you don't have prairie dogs, and you don't have friends, and you don't have
Yeah.
motorcycles, then you go drink or do drugs, right?
Yeah.
So the key would be just having shit to do,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. And a lot of times too, I mean, that falls into a lot of the people that are doing drugs around here. They don't have full-time jobs during the day,
Right.
so they get bored during the weekday because no one else is.
There
to hang out with,
Yeah,
and-
yeah, sure.
So I mean, having a full-time job around here, I feel like is pretty important too.
For sure, for sure. Brother, I really appreciate your time. It was a really incredible conversation. I really thank you a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, brother. It's great
Yeah, of
talking
course.
to you. For sure.
You as well.